guys, it's me Kevin, and today I'm doing the AFL tipping for round 15. One of the hardest tipping weeks of the season, and I'll tell you why. Start off the round, we head to Etihad Stadium on a Thursday night. Richmond versus Sydney, which is the top of the table clash. Jeez, I am going to be tipping Richmond. Why? Well, Sydney, they're a very good side, and they've got a pretty good defence. But Richmond, I just think in their home state, with their home crowd, I just think Richmond will win in their home state. I said Thursday night, yeah. Friday night at Etihad Stadium, Western Bulldogs versus Geelong. Well, Bulldogs, yeah, they were gallant last week, but really, injury crisis. They've got a lot of injuries, the Bulldogs. I mean, and they haven't won that much. They've only defeated sides that are lower than them on the ladder. Meanwhile, oh no, Essendon was the only side above them that they actually defeated. But Geelong, they're one of the top sides. I know it's not at GMHBA, but still I think Geelong, in the position they're in, I think Geelong will win. They're a pretty good side. So, Saturday afternoon at the MCG, Carlton versus Port Adelaide. You're not getting much from Carlton. I mean, they played more competitive footy last week than usual, but yeah. Against Port Adelaide, who, as I said, now, the way West Coast have been playing, maybe, if they keep playing the way they're playing, maybe Port Adelaide will have a run through the rest of the season or wins. I'm not joking. I think that if West Coast keep playing the way they do. Saying that, I think they should have Josh Kennedy and Jack Darling back. Okay, I'm not tipping round 21, I'm tipping round 15. But anyway, what I'm saying is that Port Adelaide, they should be on it. They should continue their winning streak, and Carlton, they're on the bottom of the ladder. They've only won one match. Port Adelaide, they're at 5th. They should be in 4th if they have a convincing enough, if their win is convincing enough. Anyway, Saturday twilight at Adelaide Oval, Adelaide versus West Coast. This is a tough one. This is one that could go either way. I'm tipping West Coast not because I'm a West Coast supporter, no. I'm tipping West Coast because they're higher up on the ladder. No, and also I expect them to have a response. I expect West Coast just to respond from their bad performance they did last week. I also if you look at their last 3 quarters, they actually won the last 3 quarters by 11 points. So if you take out the first quarter. Adelaide, I know they're getting a few of their players like Sloan and all that back, but really I just can't see them. I really can't see Adelaide winning. Not the way they've been playing for the last few weeks. I mean, also, West Coast play pretty well at Adelaide Oval, so West Coast it is. Okay, Saturday night at Metricon Stadium, Collingwood versus Gold Coast versus Collingwood. Collingwood, well, I'm going to be tipping Collingwood, obviously. I mean, Gold Coast probably a bit better in their last quarter last week, but really, look, oh my God, what am I saying? Collingwood, they're in 4th position. They haven't lost a game since round 8. So, I'm tipping Collingwood. Next, also on a Saturday night, is the elimination final. Sarcasm as it is, but GWS versus Hawthorn at Spotless Stadium. I'm going to be tipping GWS for 2 reasons. One, Hawthorn's wins haven't been convincing, and before those 3 unconvincing wins, there were 3 terrible losses. Actually, no, 2 terrible losses. One terrible loss and 2 games that they let slip. GW and also Hawthorn hate Spotless Stadium for some reason. So I think GWS at home will win. Alright. Sunday afternoon at Etihad Stadium. No, at the MCG. Melbourne versus St Kilda. I'm going to be tipping Melbourne. St Kilda, you're not seeing too much from them at the moment. And Melbourne, look, they're playing competitive football. They were unlucky to lose last week, and the week before they still played up a good fight, but before that, 6 consecutive wins before that, so Melbourne it is. And then another tough game at Etihad Stadium, Essendon versus North Melbourne. Who will I be tipping? North Melbourne. For one reason. Because I think the way they played last week, they're going to want to respond, is what I'm saying. They're probably going to play extra hard, as hard as possible, to try and knock off Essendon. And there's no home ground advantage because both teams play at Etihad. But actually, there is a slight advantage. North Melbourne play slightly more games at... Actually, no, never mind. Oh, they played one extra game, but... Well, I'm tipping North Melbourne for that reason. It was really a toss of a coin, that game. Lastly, at Optus Stadium on a Sunday twilight, or in Western Standard Time Sunday afternoon, Fremantle versus Brisbane. I'm going to be tipping Fremantle. I mean, Brisbane, you're not seeing too much for them. Fremantle, they play pretty good at Optus Stadium. They've only lost one time there. They've only lost one time to a travelling team, and that was against North Melbourne. Not including West Coast, but they're not a travelling team. But anyway. So, Fremantle, they also finally broke their interstate hoodoo, although that was against the bottom side, but yeah, okay, whatever, at least it's a win. So yeah, Fremantle's won 2 in a row. I expect them to win 3. So to recap my tips, I'm tipping Richmond, Geelong, Port Adelaide, West Coast, Collingwood, GWS, Melbourne, North Melbourne, and Fremantle. Hope that helps you with the tipping, and I'll see you next week. Bye.